Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Equity Guys pre-market view. My name is Chirag, NISM certified technical analyst, and let's get into the view for the day. So, looking at what happened on Thursday, we did have a 4-week trading day. So, we did expect the last day to be range bound, which was range bound. It was almost an inside candlestick pattern that was formed here. So, let's see what the data is looking like today. Looking at Nifty futures and Bank Nifty futures, both trading at a premium of 53 points and 162 points respectively, both looking very bullish today in that regard there. India VIX up 1.77%, so that is slightly on the bearish side looking at an intraday perspective. But then moving on to crude oil, we are at 5600 levels there. So 5600 levels still being below the pre-COVID levels of 6500. Your overall view on crude oil is still bullish there. Finally, coming over to GIFT Nifty. GIFT Nifty, we do see a huge gap up compared to our GIFT Nifty futures, almost a 200 point gap up there. So the main thing is the gap up gonna sustain or not? Moving on to gold and silver bees, we definitely see gold bees up a slight bit of 0.012% there. Uh, so very slightly positive there, or mostly neutral there. And silver bees is actually down 0.33%. So slightly bearish on that aspect when it comes to gold and silver bees there. Moving on to the sectoral indices, we see that in our sectorial indices that IT and BankX are both up, which is definitely bullish in nature. But then we have auto and even industrials slightly on the negative side. Overall, looking at it, we see a bit of mixed data coming in from the sectoral indices here. So, a bit of neutral data is what we can expect from the sectoral indices side of things. Moving on to the NSE data, we definitely see that we have 1,752 declines and only 1,128 advances. Um, Looking at this aspect here, we definitely have a negative sentiment towards the market, with stocks closing more on the negative side than the positive side here. Moving on to the FII DII data, FIIs have about a selling of about 2000 crores in the cash market, while DIIs are doing a phenomenal job of buying, 4,000 crores in the market here. Moving on to the FNO segment, there's a slight bit of selling in index futures from the FIIs of just about 17 crores negative there. And in stock futures, there is a good amount of selling of about 1379 crores in the stock futures from FIIs. Moving over to the advanced decline ratios looking quite neutral on both Nifty and Bank Nifty. Nifty with about 24 advances and 26 declines. Bank Nifty looking at 7 advances and 5 declines. Moving on to the sectors for Nifty, we see that all the sectors are quite neutral here for Nifty here. We'll just refresh it if there's any problem here. Yeah, looking quite neutral here from everywhere. So, yeah, fairly neutral data is what we're getting here. Moving on to the option chain here. On the left side for puts, we can see in the money and out of the money buying here. And on the right side for calls, we see in the money, out of the money selling. So overall, the data here is bearish on the option chain here. So keeping that in mind, keeping the levels of 24,650 to 24,700 marked is pretty important, because it can go up there and take resistances and then it can also come back there. So that is two levels that you guys need to keep marked, which are pretty important in nature. Moving over to the global indices, we see that the US is neutral in Dow Jones, just 0.08 up. S&P 500 is down 0.29%, and Nasdaq closed 0.4% lower. So definitely bearish in all the three markets looking there from the US side. In Europe, we definitely see again Germany DAX is on the neutral side of 0.07%. FTSE from the UK side is 0.42% down, and CAX is up 0.67%. So fairly neutral data with how Europe is open, both positive and negative, is there. Finally, coming over to the Asian markets, Nikkei currently is running at a positive of 0.67%, which is bullish there, and we see Kospi running at a negative of 1.17% there. Looking at the nature of how Nikkei moved, Nikkei did move up in the beginning of the market and then came down a little bit and then formed a sort of V-shaped recovery there. So we can possibly expect that in the Indian markets too. So the possible nature could happen, but we do have a gap up. So let's see the gap up either sustains or it can move higher too. That could be a possibility. Moving on to Indian ADRs are fairly positive on all aspects. We see good amount of buying in Infosys, Wipro, ICICI Bank, HDFC. So definitely bullish in nature when it comes to Indian ADRs over here. Finally, coming over to the US futures market, US futures also extremely positive. We see US 30 up 0.2% almost. We see US 500 also up almost 0.2%, and we see US Tech 100 up almost 0.3% there. So bullish all around in that aspect. So coming to the view for the day, guys, because of the huge gap up, there could be a bit of consolidation that happens today. But the main thing is we have to close above 24,730 levels as per WD GAN, and this is mainly because looking at all the news that is going on with Putin and Trump meeting and stuff like that, there's no bad news that's necessarily coming in for India. So on the open, it's pretty important to also look at levels on gold, crude oil, and Indian rupee and India VIX, especially when you're trading today. But overall, uh, 24 7 30 levels is the Lakshman Rekha we need to keep for the whole week, actually. And as long as we don't close below that, we are looking extremely positive and extremely bullish for the entire day. And 24 730 levels is also what WD GAN levels are saying as per that. So definitely, guys, trade your setup, don't trade the view, and also trade one index and one time frame. But overall, we are again looking at a buy on dip type of market or a possible consolidation because of the huge gap up. But definitely, make sure you guys are trading your setup, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.